Oh, that's better. Whoa. Well. Hi guys, rubber band power time. I'm afraid we're filming directly into the sunlight at the moment, so I'm not quite sure what it's going to look like on the camera. Right, I had a couple of questions about making CD wheels by people who haven't got hot glue guns. I've covered this quite a few times on my old channel, but I'll do it again. I'll also use these plastic containers that our takeaway meals tend to come in. They're a bit flexible, so I thought I might put the lid back on because that stiffens it up quite a bit. And then cut a hole out the middle so that we can actually access the rubber band and the back axle. So we should only need one of them. It is fairly important to try and keep the axles parallel front and back, otherwise they shoot off at a tangent. In fact, virtually all my cars shoot off at a tangent, so even when I'm careful I don't get it right. One way of trying to get it right is to find straight edges, the ends, and then use something that will give you a regular height. You'll see what I mean. If I just use that and draw on there, that will give us a marking. The only thing is, if you tilt it like that, it's going to be yeah. Alright, if we start it off like that, then draw our line and the other way. It's going to be a bit too high like that. Something a bit lower. Something like that. Yeah, that should do. Right, so those crosses should be parallel. Should be. So say, I very rarely get it right. Oh, one thought. If we're going to use CDs for wheels, if those holes are too close together, like they are, then your CDs, your wheel is going to overlap. If one's there over that hole and that one's there over that hole, you'll see they overlap. That's not the end of the world as long as you space them accordingly so that they're one sticking out further than the other. A better answer would be to have them further apart so they don't touch each other. If they touch each other, then you'll get friction and they slow down. I'll go with what I've got and I'll space them. So we need a hole there, and there, and there, and there. Now, depending on what sort of plastic your container is, you might be able to push straight through with no trouble, or it might split. The other thing is the hole you make has got to be big enough for your axle to go through easily. If it's as tight as that, it's no good at all. So you need to make that hole bigger. If you've got an electric drill, you can drill it out. You can just keep working at it with whatever you've got, and that's when they tend to split. As you're working your way through it, they suddenly split. Or you can use something hot to melt a hole through. If you've watched lots of my videos, you know I quite like using this nail on a stick. It's on a stick because you can heat that up and it keeps the heat well away from your hand. And then you can melt the holes through, and if you melt them, then they won't split. So I'm going to go away and do that. So I used my hot nail on a stick. And now my holes are nice and big for the axle. Need to cut a hole out there. Now you can do that with a sharp knife, or you can do that with a hot nail and melt it out. I'll use a sharp knife if I've got one. I've got that one, but it's not very sharp. I'll probably make a mess of it. And you see there, it's split where I've pushed it through. It's alright where I used the sharp bit, but where I used a little bit blunt, then the plastic shattered. But I think that'll be okay. So we can reach in there and wrap the rubber band around. We could probably do with a hole around the front here, so we can wrap the rubber band around there. I'll go and do that. I'll melt a couple more holes there so we can push the rubber band through. There we are, nice big hole along there. Don't know if we can see that with the sunlight. Right, so making the wheels. A lot of people put comments on my videos where they seem to get quite hung up about the fact I tend to use a hot glue gun to glue my plastic bottle caps on there. You don't need a hot glue gun. Hot glue does work particularly well. Other glues might work. I always have trouble trying to use super glue because it doesn't seem to like the types of plastic that I use, and it just pops straight off again. The other thing you can just do is sticky tape. If you can find the start of your sticky tape. Right, found it eventually. Really ought to remember to bend the end over so we can find it again quickly. Anyway, so we need a bit like that. Not that bit, that's the end bit. fact there's a little bit of movement in there is sometimes helpful to help you adjust the centre position. Or you can just keep putting more tape over there to try and stiffen it up. I'm going to leave that like that. Need a hole in the middle. Now some of these bottle tops have got a nice convenient, again, is the sun going to block this? How about if I hold it up to the light? They've got a little dimple in the middle there that you can actually find the centre easily. It's got a nice dimple there. These particular ones have got nothing in the middle, so you just have to judge it as best you can. If you actually wanted this to last for ages, years, then I would glue it. But bearing in mind I only need this to last for a day or so maximum, then sticky tape's going to be fine. You don't really want edges sticking over. So trim it nicely. Let's have a look. The other thing you want to do is choose your bamboo skewers so that they're nice and straight. This one's actually got quite a bend on it. But that should be good enough for our purposes. Now the other thing I wanted to try out was I found these beads in Poundland, pony beads. Don't know. Yes, they are big enough to go on there. So I put a couple of them on. That will stop the CD rubbing against the side of the wheel, side of the bodywork. Looks like I only need one. Yep, that should do. So, another one. sticky tape on that one's just touching the edge of the bodywork, so I will put 2 beads on there, not just one. And if you haven't got beads, I cut up short lengths of drinking straw to do the same job. Alright, make sure there's a little bit of play there. Okay, they look okay. Remember, the other ones have got to be wider so they don't rub against each other. I'll get on and do that. You don't really need to see me repeat myself. Well, there we are. Spaced out so the wheels overlap without rubbing against each other. We're not going to get very many rubber bands on there, so it's not going to go very far. And we might have to add some weight because it's going to be very light as well. So, rubber bands. I shouldn't think we need any more than 2 of these. Where's my hole? Holes at that end. Push that through the hole. Push that through the loop. So there we are, we're attached. On there, on the axle, you could cut the end off your bamboo cane and glue it on there in a T shape, so you've got a hook to hook that onto. I'm just gonna, can we see this? I'm just gonna wrap it over itself. My fingers get in the way when I'm doing it, don't they? Let's see if I can hold it the other way up. Over the top. The more I try and keep my fingers out the way, the more they get in the way. Can we see that? Right, it's gone over itself, so it's holding itself in place. So we can wind it up. And away we go. Yes, I think we can get problems with wheel spin here. Yeah. So we need to put some weight in there or put rubber tyres on. What I've got here is latex gloves. So if I cut, let's see how much have we got. Right, that's the arm bit. So if we cut that in half again, and we've got to get them over there. It's not going to help with these wheels being in the way. We go over. There we are, a rubber tyre. rubber tyres. Let's see if that helps. We might still need extra weight, but let's see. Oh, that's better. Whoa. Well, from a short rubber band, we just did about 12 metres. That's not bad going, is it? Well, that works. Summary time. What have we got? We've got a very basic rubber band powered car made from a reusable container, microwave reheatable, that says. That's the sort of stuff our takeaway meals arrive in. Axles are bamboo canes or barbecue skewers. Wheels are CDs or DVDs. The hubs are bottle caps or bottle tops, held in place with sticky tape, clear sticky tape in this case. You could glue them. I just thought I'd demonstrate that you can just use ordinary tape. Won't last forever depending on the quality of your tape. Quite a few of them peel off after a while, but it will last for long enough for me to do the demonstration. The bottle caps are from any type of plastic bottle you can find. They don't need to be matching. All you need to do is find the middle of them so you can get your axles through there. I've used some plastic beads to space the wheels away from the bodywork so they don't rub and cause friction. I put a hole in the front there so I can put the rubber band through. That's just looped through and holds onto itself. And you could put a little T-piece on there, cut the end off here and glue it on there in a T shape to make it easier to hook your rubber band on. But I just wrap it round there so the rubber band goes over itself and that holds it in place. It's quite lightweight, so we will get in wheel spin, so I've given it rubber tyres made from latex gloves. They don't last very long, they're very thin, and you'll see there's already some wear on here from just 2 or 3 runs. So I prefer to use washing up gloves. They're thicker and last for lots of runs. But latex gloves are very cheap. You get about 50 for £1 or something. So pound for pound, they're probably cheaper to use. That's it. It works. Nice and simple, very lightweight. And the first run we did went all the way up there, through the door, right through to the front door, which is about 12 metres from a short rubber band like that. That's quite impressive.